Hey guys, so a few points on modulation and scale factor. I was mid through editing my Pezzer Gray color modulation tutorial, and it kind of hit me that if I want to explain certain things on that tutorial, it becomes a very long tutorial. So I thought, why not address these issues in an independent video and then just provide you with a tutorial on how to do it on a specific tutorial for that. Hence, I'm doing this video, and I hope I can get across and I can explain myself better than, well, usual. Why do color modulation or even scale factor compensation? The reason is very simple. It has to do with the physical properties of light. So light is electromagnetic energy, and it has wavelengths ranging from a very short visible wavelength of purple to the longer visible wavelength of red, with all the other wavelengths in between, which would be yellow, blue, green, all of the other colors of the visible spectrum. There is an effect called diffraction, and there is also a limit of diffraction, what I think is called the Abbe limit, which, roughly speaking, you guys must, understand that I'm not a physics academic of any sort, so this is understood through the lens of someone who is a layperson in terms of physics. But the concept is very simple. Any object that is smaller than half the length of the light wavelength is going to be extremely hard to resolve optically. So if an object is smaller than the wavelength, it will be very hard for the object to be readable. Of course, the wavelength is nanometers long per cycle. You're probably saying, well, why should that matter in such a small object? Well, it does, because in reality, 35 times smaller than the real thing is going to be a noticeable difference. So although it's still not within the scope of not being actually unaffected by the wavelength, it will still be affected by the fact that it's 35 times smaller. So there will be a problem in lighting that subject. You will have to compensate for that in order for it to be readable. That is the scale factor in a nutshell, explained very simply, very basically. Once again, I have links down below. You can go there and actually read more about this. It's actually very interesting. If you have the time and you wish to go and have a look, please do so. It's very interesting. This question to me also goes way beyond the science and beyond that need to compensate for scale factor. To me, it also becomes a issue with perception. So when I'm modulating, I'm also trying to play with your perception, to manipulate the illusion, to try and make the object readable in a lower light situation, for example, or to call attention to a specific part of the model that I want to enhance. From that moment on, modulation also becomes a sort of a tool in your arsenal of techniques that will allow you to achieve a specific effect. So that is actually the second reason why I do modulation. To me, it's strong enough for me to always use it every single time I use modulation. I think it's an essential technique to what I do. There is another reason, if you will, that I also use modulation, which is I also think that there is no better foundation for over-weathering or weathering a lot a vehicle or a model. I don't think there is any other or better way to do it than modulation. And for that reason, because I like to layer a lot of the effects, I always try to do very detailed modulation, because in the end it all serves to make the effects pop up and make everything come together, and actually you can't sometimes even notice the fact that the model is it's color modulated. So in a nutshell, guys, this is the main reasons why I do it. Is this something you need? To me, the short answer is no. This is, like I said, another technique. You don't need this. You might want to do this, which is different, but you don't need this. I know that it's very popular right now. I know that a lot of people want to do it, but I also know that a lot of people are against it and think it's unrealistic, which I will concede it is unrealistic. If I'm manipulating the result, then of course it is unrealistic. But you have to think that you don't actually need the modulation. There are plenty good modelers out there that do any modulation, still win gold medals, still are awesome model makers, and I love their work. And I do follow their work in magazines and, on YouTube and stuff. So for me, to use or not to use modulation, although it's sort of a controversial technique, the thing is the end result. And to me, in my opinion, for my kind of work, modulation helps me a lot. So that's it, guys. This video was just to kind of lay the groundwork for the video that is coming, for the tutorial that I'm producing, so you could better understand it. So if you guys have any doubts or any questions, once again, leave them down below or send me a PM or whatever. Maybe even make your response videos. I don't know. I'll leave it up to you. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys keep modeling and have a good time. Take care. See ya.